being the very best at what you do.
Okay.
And you can prove that, you can show it, and you show people every day.
So you can't fake that.
No, you can't fake that.
You have to actually prove it.
In just a minute, they're going to know the truth.
All right. Now, Pastor Bott, if I ask for your qualifications, should you be able to show me those?
Yes, sir. As a pastor, I'm licensed to preach the gospel.
Okay.
I'm also ordained. I have license as a licensed certificate, ordination. So, yes, sir, I can show you my credentials.
And you can show me that. You're just not on acid and take a calling yourself Pastor Body, but you really are.
I am the pastor of Glory of God Church.
All right. And if I go to Glory of God, I'm going to see Pastor Body.
My name is on the side.
King of Pre-Need, when you think of qualified, what comes to mind?
I think of Golden Gate Funeral Home,
Okay.
which is the #1 funeral home, one of the #1 funeral homes in the nation, which we do over 2,000 funerals a year. Yes, I think of Golden Gate. We are the best.
All right. Well, I get excited, Carolyn, when he thinks of qualified funeral homes. He thinks about Golden Gate Funeral Home.
That's what and that's what we stand. That's our standards, John. At our office, our standard is excellent. You won't let it be, that T can't come off of excellent.
Exactly. We're not going to have that over
that you have set and that everyone has to meet on a daily basis. And we want to be that, Jack, because we have to service our customer on the utmost standards. High quality standards is what really Mom and Dad said, and we've been following them. And every year, you come up with something else for us.
We like that. So when we think about last year, we've had the opportunity to handle over 2,300 families.
That's right.
We thank God for that. And do you feel like that qualifies us, King of Pre-Need?
Yes, definitely.
That sets us above the rest.
Sets us above the rest.
Where we want to be.
And not just on a local level or state level, but also on a national level.
That's right.
Well, thank God for that. Now, do you feel like you're qualified as a Queen of Pre-Need?
Absolutely, Mr.
Okay.
It's kind of funny because you gave me the name as Queen of Pre-Need.
Okay, and you've earned it.
And I've had that name for probably about the last year and a half. It was kind of comical at first.
Okay.
But now, I think I kind of earned the name.
Now, we don't want to toot our own horn, but let's talk about the qualifications.
Seeing as how I've been in the business for so long and all of the accomplishments, and by the grace of God, because God gets all the grace and the honor.
Right.
And the privilege of being at Golden Gate Funeral Home, the #1 African-American funeral home in the nation.
Yes, ma'am.
That has allowed me and given me a bigger platform and a bigger audience to actually be the Queen of Pre-Need.
All right. King, you feel like you're qualified to be the King of Pre-Need?
Definitely. And you gave me my name, too.
Okay.
But Mr. Beckford, excellence draws people.
Okay.
Good people. And, I've been in the business for 23 years. I don't say it braggingly, but I was #1 agent in my local office, Agent of the Year 3 times.
All right.
I'm licensed by the state of Texas, where I not only write pre-need, I can write life insurance, disability insurance. I can write a number of products. I do continuing education. So, yes, I think I'm a little qualified.
All right.
Yes.
Now, Quinn, we think of minimum requirements. We know as a pre-need agent, you can get just a pre-need license.
That's correct.
But both you, the King, the Chief Financial Officer, myself, we all have a Group 1 license or General Alliance license. That's above and beyond what's necessary to sell pre-need.
And I did that, Mr. Beckwood. At one time, I only just had the pre-need license years ago. But I did that because I wanted to be able to service the families and give them exactly what they need. Because when you meet with some families, they don't have life insurance, they don't have a pre-need, and in some instances, they need the life insurance first. Right. So I wanted to be able to actually give the families not just what I could provide, but what they actually needed. So it prompted me to go and get my Group 1 license, which was very, very strenuous. That's a hard test. As a matter of fact, most people that I talked to, when I talked to them, they were telling me, they were going like, well, Deborah, I don't know if you're going to be able to pass that test. I had to take it like 9 or 10 times. And I had to do preparation. I actually had to pay.
But you didn't have to take it 9 or 10 times.
I took it 2 times.
All right.
But I passed it.
Well, thank God, amen. What about you, King? Did you have a difficult time with that test?
I had a little difficult time myself.
This is not just a minimum requirement. This is above and beyond.
But you have to really want it.
Okay.
I mean, they don't let anybody in the business. If you don't study and do your work, then you're not going to get that license. Once you get that license, they know that you've really did your homework.
Not only that, Mr. Beckwood, what about the background check that they do?
Background check, fingerprints. You have to
if
be
you
of good character.
You have to have good credit.
and good credit.
credit.
Everybody can't say that they have this type of license.
Right, and if
Right.
you have a felony, you cannot get a license.
You can't get this type of
No,
license.
They
So-
check
Correct.
you out.
So you all are above the minimum requirements
Yes,
in
definitely.
qualifications.
That's right.
Now, Carol, as a CFO, owner of a funeral home, should you only hire those who are qualified?
Most definitely, John, because as we just stated, our standards are excellent. And our standards, the only way we can meet those standards is to have qualified people in those positions.
Okay.
And that's what we do. We have a very rigorous employment standards. Sure, you can come and join a ride-along program, but not everybody gets hired.
That's true.
You have to meet those qualifications, and we have very rigorous training as well.
Exactly.
So you make sure that everybody, if you come in and they really, really want to work, that's another good thing too with the ethical and moral character that we have at the funeral home as well. You'll allow anybody to come in and work,
Exactly.
but you train, and unless they meet those qualifications, then they're not allowed to stay.
Pastor, at a church, is there certain qualifications, certain standards that I must meet to be a part of your church?
Well, yes, sir, Brother John. As the pastor, I hold my officers and leaders of the church to a standard that they, in order for them to hold those positions,
Okay.
they must attend Bible study, Sunday school, and a tithe-paying member.
Okay.
I just can't let anybody stand before the people in leadership position, because as the leader, I'm the first example.
Okay.
And so I make sure that I'm there on time for everything, and I set the standard for them to be there if they want to maintain their position. If they don't meet those standards, then I put somebody else in there that can.
King of Preneed?
Yeah, Mr. Beckford, I wanted to say this here, what actually drew me to Golden Gate
Okay.
Funeral Home, because I had a job when I came here. I
Right.
wasn't actually looking for a job. Matter of
Exactly.
fact, I was a district manager with American General.
Okay.
But what drew me to Golden Gate Funeral Home is the quality of people that you have working for Golden Gate Funeral Home.
Now, that's
and
excellent.
if the type of people that you have, if you had a basketball team or if you had a football team, you would have an all-star team.
That's all right.
'Cause you have some good people.
Carol, we want to be
Good
ranked
thing.
number
Yes,
one.
Yes, we do. In everything that we do.
Exactly.
Yes, we are.
And then we feel that way in funeral service. We feel like we have the number one funeral home in the nation. And it shows by the
Number of
ranking
families
that
that
we
we
have.
serve.
And the number of families that we serve, we feel very comfortable in saying that. We don't just take that for granted.
No, we don't.
And it's something that we strive for every year.
Every day. Every day,
Exactly.
John, you make that a standard.
And to make sure that we hold that ranking every year. Should qualifications be checked, Pastor Bobby?
Most definitely, Brother John. You have a lot of fly-by-night people.
Okay, we have resumes.
You could dress. You
okay.
you could put anything on resume.
Okay,
I had to
okay.
watch my word. I don't want to say the wrong word. But you can put anything on paper.
Okay.
And most people, when they trying to get a job, they fix their resume to impress the person they're giving the resume to.
Okay.
But you need to have some proof, some credentials to back up what you put on your resume.
All right.
If you say you're a licensed funeral director, I want to see your license.
Right.
If you're a licensed embalmer, I need to see your license. If you say you own a funeral home, show me some establishment license. Matter of
Exactly.
fact, take me to your location. Because I'm not just going to let anybody handle my most precious loved one.
Right.
When death comes. So, yeah, I need you. I'm going to check your background.
You check-
I'm going to check your
You do a little
credentials.
background check.
Yeah, I'm going to do some research on
And
it.
Carol, people can make up a whole bunch of stuff. You have many counterfeit license, many counterfeit different things out there. But there's some state agencies that you can actually call and check.
Exactly, and that's what
Okay.
they're there for. They're there to protect the consumer. And that's what qualifications is all about, is that it's really to protect the consumer. And as a funeral home, that's what we're here for too. We're here to service you, and we're here to teach you every week about what should and shouldn't happen at a funeral and how you can get everything in order. Because you must check people out, because like you just stated, people will embellish their resumes and people will lie. I need to get in the door. I'm just going to tell you what I need to tell you. One of the qualifications, John, they come in and say, I'm a computer expert. Sit them down there and tell them to show me.
That'll get to work on it.
I like how Golden Gate Funeral Home displays the credentials of, or the license of all of the funeral directors
Right.
right in the front when you first walk in, at the right behind the reception desk. You have it's framed with each individual's license.
That's right, as well as our establishment license.
As establishment
And then
license,
a lot of people
right.
say, well, we're family owned and we're family operated, but we pride ourselves when we say that, Carol, that
That we
our
do.
family have always owned Golden Gate Funeral Home and will always own Golden
Yes,
Gate
we
Funeral
do.
Home.
And we work there every day.
And we don't mind showing proof of that.
No, we don't.
A lot of
Just
times people
ask us.
say, well, they do so well, there's no way they could still be family owned and operated.
Exactly.
But we'll be more than happy to show you that as well.
Yes, we will.
Yes, and when we come out to make house calls, it's another good thing why we check qualifications
Okay.
and if you who you say you are, because we go into families' homes. People invite us into their homes, and you don't want to invite anybody in your home. When we come out, you can rest assured that you know that we have been checked out and we're honest and we're going to be ethical with you.
All right, and I'm not trying to get the bootlegs fired, y'all. It's just that there are certain things I wouldn't trust a bootleg with.
Right.
That's
I
right.
mean, I don't mind stopping on a side corner and buying a watermelon, but that's not somebody I'm going to trust John Beckwith Sr.'s body with.
Exactly, for their services.
I need somebody that has an
Pretty neat.
establishment, somebody that's going to actually walk me into a building, somebody I can check your credentials, because these are the most important thing that I have. I'm not going to just give you my money if you call yourself a bank.
That's right.
I need to actually see a bank in place
That's right.
with something from the government saying that my money is insured
Exactly, by
in
the
your
government.
money.
And I also have no problem with you asking to see my license.
No
And
problem at
when
all.
you invite me into your home.
If you're qualified,
That's
you should
right.
have some type of
I
license
have
to
it.
show them.
That's right.
Now, what about standards? And should standards be met, Pastor Body?
Yes, our standards should be met.
Okay.
Their standards are set in order for them to be met.
Okay.
And people ought to strive every day to meet the first standards, and that is to live a holy life.
Okay, because that standard is written.
That's written, and that's the word of God.
Okay.
That's the first standard that we should all strive for every day. And then the standards that man makes, which are the laws and rules of the land, we should strive every day to meet them. There's no excuse for not meeting any standards. Only why you don't meet your standards if you stop trying.
Carolyn, should we lower our standards?
Definitely not, John.
Okay.
Foundations will crumble if you lower your standards. You allow people to come in and do construction for you, and those standards aren't met and exceeded, in my opinion, then they will fall. Families, relationships, foundations, everything will crumble without standards.
If you don't have some type of standards.
That's
So when you
right.
think about that, Queen, do you think standards should be lowered?
No, sir, I don't.
Okay, all right.
I heard Pastor Pryor say that if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. That's one of his favorite sayings. And a lot of times, since I'm single, people will tell me that I should lower my standards in the qualifications that I think.
Exactly. They say, well, you need a man. You need to go ahead and lower your standards and get you one.
Yeah, go ahead and lower your standards. But there's certain standards and qualifications that I must have.
Right. Is a Christian man in one of
A
them?
Christian man is one of them.
Okay.
And then he has to be financially stable.
Right, because you don't want a broke Christian man.
Broke Christian. I'm not going to be able
I
to
see
do
her
that
throw the
one.
hand up, Carolyn. I don't know what that means. But is that important, King?
It's very important. You just
Okay.
don't want to just do business with anybody.
Right, exactly.
You know, you want people that's going to treat you right and going to take care of you.
Okay.
Yes.
Carolyn, do you speak up when your standards are not met?
Loud and clear, John. You can hear
Okay.
me across the room, across the street, if they're not. And actually, I had a conversation with my husband, and he told me I was going to be in a nursing home, and that nobody was going to be able to do anything right because my standards were so high. Actually, I took that as a compliment, and I appreciate him telling me that. And I will never lower my standards. And when you don't meet them, because I'll let you know what they are. And then if you don't meet them, I'll let you know that you didn't
I'll
meet
make
them.
sure you don't go to a nursing home.
Thank you so much.
I can guarantee you on that one.
I'm going back on that part for her standards. She's very loud, even as a boss. She's very loud. When you don't meet the standards that mom and dad has set over 30 years ago for Golden Gate Funeral Home, she comes and lets you know.
All right.
But she
And
does it in
sometimes she
such a
does it in a
humble
nice
way.
way, too.
She does it in a
There's a
humble
way
way.
to do it.
She
Exactly.
does it in a humble, loving, caring way because
Exactly.
she knows, as a boss, she sees the best in us.
Exactly.
And that's all they expect from us is the best.
The best.
And as an employee of Golden Gate Funeral Home, I thank God for having an opportunity to strive for the last 25 years to meet those standards. And I guess I've been meeting them because I'm still employed.
Still employed. and as consumers, as we talk to the consumers today, we say to them, speak up.
Right.
When your standards are not met. I mean, I always say first thing you want to go to is the problem. And if that doesn't work, ask for management. And in our case, you can ask for the owner.
Owners of the funeral.
of
We're
the
there
funeral
every
home.
day.
And then
Exactly.
there's even higher agencies that regulate owners, that regulates employees, and it's okay to speak up if something is not right.
And that's what we do with all of our families that
Okay.
actually have a service with us. We actually call them, and we want feedback.
We want to know.
We want to know, are there any concerns, any problems? Was everything